honesty. I mean, I think that's the goal of these Wahi Pana concerts that we're doing here. Really delving deep into the psyche of our Hawaiian people. Everyone has a special purpose in terms of why it's named and how it was named. And then of course the stories that followed it. You can see how in depth that was, especially the kuka nayu kapuel. I tell you, we only knew that. But how about another round of applause for our wonderful Well, tonight is an evening also of talk story, as you saw, and I'm going to have the pleasure now to introduce those that will be joining us. And I don't want to call it a panel, but it is really a getting together of good friends. And to start things off, we have tonight joining us in our discussion about the Wahi Pana of Waikiki. Several of wonderful, wonderful people who have spent many years down there in our Waikiki area, and still continue to do the good work of lifting up our mana'o, akamai, our no'eo of our special places, Wahi Pana. I start off with a wonderful person who Joe and I first met Joe at Recca through a wonderful recording he did. He was like the premier baritone voice of Hawaii for me, and made several recordings of the nice classic, beautiful classic Chowsy Kings selections. And it was such a wonderful, wonderful thing to hear that Joe was doing that wonderful work. And then also once at Bishop Museum, I was with Chubby Mahoy and also Joe, and we were playing on the Aloha Airlines. We were doing the promotions. And so, in fact, everyone that's going to come on stage today at one point in time either performed for Hawaiian Airlines or Aloha Airlines on their promotion teams. And so, with no further ado, one who has shared so much of the knowledge and the beauty of Waikiki through the many tours that he takes. You know, he's been taking many of our visitors in and throughout Waikiki, and I'm sure he's still doing that today, and we're going to talk about that. Please put your hands together for Mr. Joseph Recca. Mahalo. Our next guest is the Grand Dame of Hawaiian song. And again, as a child, I remember her wonderful recordings of, help me, the theme song for tonight, which is Waikiki, Kainoa, and many of the songs of our beautiful Hawaii. Please let us greet now lovely Marlene Sai. Marlene and I, we've had many occasions of traveling together and performing in various portions of the mainland, and also in Waikiki and also in Japan. And we're so happy that she could make it tonight. She was wondering how should she dress tonight. I said, warm, auntie, warm. It was like money. And then a wonderful gentleman who I've come to know over the years. I always admired his work as a alakai for one of Hawaii's wonderful kumuhula. Uncle Henry Pa, who is no longer with us today, but many, many years with the Kuhio Hawaiian Civic Club, helped and aided our Kuhio Hawaiian Civic Club, especially when Kihei Brown was the music director there, and Anuhea Brown, his wife, shared in lifting up our community and raising monies for our Hawaiian students. And Uncle Henry Pa was always there to teach the hula to the members of the Prince Kuhio Hawaiian Civic Club. Are any of those members here? Raise your hand. Yeah. Raise your hand. Okay, we have. Yeah, the McKinneys, of course. Luana, Peter, good to see you here. And others that have participated. You know, the whole Cummings family was over there too, you know, the Sai family. And so, our brother who is going to be sharing with us about that area when Sam was talking about the various areas of Waikiki. And even though the people of Kalia really don't want to be a part of Waikiki, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, this is none other than Pamai Tenn. Brother Pamai. He was Alakai, Uncle Henry Pa. Pamai does a lot of work in terms of lifting up the wonderful, wonderful legacy we have of the Kahanamoku family, the Paoa family, and the Harbaro family that lived all down there in Kalia. Anybody know where Kalia is? Who knows where Kalia is? I see a few hands. Who doesn't know where Kalia is? Raise your hand. Be honest. Raise your hand. I don't know where Kalia is. Fort DeRusi. Okay. And over there are beautiful springs over there now, since we're, and then of course Hilton Hawaiian Village. But all those springs were of course closed in, and we don't see the tranquil area that it was once back in days of old. And so I'm going to join my gang here. And let me also take time to introduce our musicians. We have a wonderful, wonderful trio of musicians tonight that will be accompanying the songs that we'll be singing, dancing and sharing. And they perform down at Waikiki often, many, many years down at Halekulani, still at the Marriott Waikiki Resort. And on Thursday nights we have none other than Gary Aiko. Gary Aiko of the famous Kiawe family. We also have Mr. Kaipo Asing. Kaipo is nearby. Oh, there's Kaipo back there. Okay, give me refreshments. Okay. Brother Kaipo and I go back on those days at Roosevelt. And then, of course, their leader, none other than, and we all know, Mr. Alan Akaka. They'll be joining us on stage too.
You know, you folks, hey, I don't know how much you folks, can you put my mic up, please? Hello? Hello? I don't know how much you folks pay, but part of that pay is to watch us say hello to each other. Yeah. If you don't honey, then, you know, that's it. We don't talk to them anymore. Sam Ohu Gone in their presentation mentioned Kupalaha a few times. I just want to point out something very interesting. That is the heiau, it's a sister heiau of Papa Ina. Papa Ina was way where the tennis courts are, Diamond Head tennis courts. So if you see any kind of stuff going on over there, you know, there was a heiau there. Well, Kupalaha was the place where the last sacrifice by Kamehameha happened. It was a traitor, and so that was the last sacrifice of the conflict that brought him to Oahu in unifying all the islands. So I want to bring that up. You're welcome.
Joey's going to come in from time to time because he just knows Waikiki like the back of his hand, especially all the mo'olelo, all the stories. And so we'll do our best to. We started late, so we're going to go a little bit beyond the time of 6:30 for the first half, but we'll do our best. Everyone, we're going to ask you just to kind of give a fast impression of your time in Waikiki, real quick. Start off with Marlene.
Wait. My gosh. It was a while ago. It was a perfect time. I remember Waikiki as a grounds where we could walk across the street, enjoy entertainment of our peers, our artist friends, and just enjoyed from a variety of them. It was wonderful. It was exciting, and like that is happening today. I wish you would bring it back. You know, all of that wonderful entertainment. I remember I was at the Dukanamoku's, it was a supper club in the International Marketplace. Do some of you remember that? Okay. And I would go across the street and listen to Haunani Kahaliwai singing in the monochrome of the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. Or sometimes go down the street when I was Pau and listen to Sterling Mossman at the Barefoot Bar. Some of you remember that? Sure. It was good times. It was wonderful. And right out front of the International Marketplace was Don the Beachcomber. And Don the Beachcombers had all wonderful trios, dances, Beverly Noah and Mamo Howell and all of these gorgeous, gorgeous dancers.
What's the Tahitian dancer's name that you saw us beat up people?
What?
That beautiful Tahitian, is it Revi? Reri
Tava.
Yes.
I forgot about Reri, I'm
She
sorry.
could fight. Yes, she could dance the night away, but boy, don't get her mad.
Yeah, she could really shake it, right?
Yes.
But there were good times, there were fun times, and there was music continuous.
Yep.
All over the place. Thank you.
Down on Kalakaua, and she said, boy, has it changed. And this is going over to Royal Circle.
This is Nadine Kahanamoku, Duke Kahanamoku's
Yes.
wife.
And she said, you're going to have to be here. It certainly has changed. And I remember you. The beautiful music that you have recorded. My teachers, Uncle Henry Pa, lived in Waikiki on Manukai Street. My other teacher, Mary Kaululehua Ohaililan, also lived in Waikiki.
Yep.
And I lived at Pualei Circle in the 70s.
We're going to recount some songs now. The first song that we have.
Wait a minute, you
is,
didn't get me. Don't cut me out.
Okay,
boy.
go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe. No,
I
Joe.
was just ready to.
Okay, go, Joe.
I'll do it. Anyway, I wanted to say this because Alan Akaka's father was the choir master when I was at Kamehameha in the preparatory department. He was the one that started me on the road to singing. He got me, I was the first soprano. He, along with Zella Young, who was the tenor in the group, we auditioned for the NBC Scouts that came to do a statehood show on the Dinah Shore show. Anyway, we sang the wedding song. I sang the Wahine part, Zella sang the male part, and we blew the Scouts away. Anyway, we got the part on Dinah Shore. Down when I became a sophomore, a senior, the choir master, we did a thing for the Rotary at the Monaco. He said to the choir master, is there any young man in the choir or the glee club that would like to audition for the Haunani Kahaliwai show? When we got back to school, Robert Springer asked if I would want to audition. And the rest is history. So 1963, I became a royal lad in the Haunani Kahaliwai show. Okay, I'm done.
See, Joe started it before I could. I was going to have him introduce the first song we're going to do tonight, and that song is called Aina Hau. Joe, you want to talk about Aina Hau?
Well, Aina Hau, I was privileged to be able to study under Dr. George Kanahele, who studied Waikiki for over 30 years. And it was his encouraging that I became a Waikiki historian. And there was when I started practicing the different type of spiels for all the surfboard markers, I was at with my mom, and I was talking about Aina Hau, land of the hau trees. And then she said, wait a minute, go back, what did you just say? I said, Aina Hau, land of the hau trees? She said, no, 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 no. It's the wind that comes down that corridor that's been coming for centuries. It's cool, it's this cool wind. And I went to George and says, Dr. Kanahele, my mother said that you're wrong. It's not. he said, you know, I heard that and I didn't believe it. But tell your mother I'm so sorry. Anyway, I told Dr. Kanahele he was wrong. And it is the land of cool breezes, named for Ka'iulani's home, gifted by Mama Nui. It was a pet name that Ka'iulani called Princess Ruth, Ke'ilikolani, Big Mama. Why? She was 6'2" and over 400 pounds. That's a Mama Nui.
I'd say. So let's strike that one. Alan, I'm going to ask you to do it in G, and then if you, all of you know the words yet to Aina Hau. Right. Oh, none of them has. How about fun? How about Akaka?
The term pikake in the song does not refer to the flower. It was one of Ka'iulani's favorite flowers that she named her pets, the peacocks, pikake. That's how that flower got the name, the jasmine.
How about the lipoa? Na kamakani ahe ahe, I pamai makai, I love mai, I Allah na lipoa. E ho lipo, ho lipo, I Allah ku home. Everybody sing, anybody. Nani home kuhome ai keiu ikau manapekau o kani ikaru ei ikawa o lua kuhome some other songs that talk about the beautiful homes of our Ali.
Well, there is one that was reflected some of the names that are there. Paukalani was one of two homes that happened to be in the Waikiki area. Now, on the road that's on the other end of it is Ohua. Ohua means retainers. Now, this is the area in the back of Paukalani that the retainers or servants or ladies in attendance would enter the home. She kept that same priority in her home, the front being entrance for special guests, and the back was deliveries and the servants. So Ohua is for the back entrance of Paukalani. There is also another home, her little beach cottage that was there as well. But Paukalani is where flowers were brought to Lili'u during the annexation, where she was being held at Iolani Palace. A young boy who later turned out, who became governor of the, mayor of the islands, brought these flowers to her. And that's how she kept abreast with what was happening to her kingdom by the newsprint that was wrapping these blossoms, Paukalani.
We're going to have our lovely Marlene Sai sing that for you all now.
And Shirley.
And to dance.
Yeah, where's Shirley?
Shirley.
Oh, there she is.
Mrs. Recca.
She's one of the Kanemuras. There she is.
Here she is.
Please, a round of applause for
Lady Recca.
Gentle breeze, if my name, oh, Eku sweet, never fading flower, I bloomy kau, alai awakalani, ike mauikanani, wanapua.
beautiful. And thank you again. Oh, lovely Recca there. We're gonna feature now our islanders, and in a song called Waikiki Hula, and of course our lovely Halau Kamamukule Hua, the students, of course the Haumana of Pohai, and they're here to share with you and talk about various aspects of Waikiki as reflected in this wonderful, wonderful Awana Hula. Here we are, guys. Take it away. We're gonna again feature our wonderful serenaders and our lovely halau in a song. And I guess anybody want to talk about? I know Joe's ready to talk about.
No, I just wanted to say a part of this evening is the smell that all this wonderful scent that is going on. Every time I smell the scent of tea leaf skirts and plumeria leaves, it takes me right back to the Royal Hawaiian back in the 60s. I tell you, it's magic. Kodak Show, yes.
To introduce our next selection, and we knew that Waikiki was just filled with all kinds of waterways, all kind of marshes, duck ponds, and this is one story where I remember Auntie Nina talking about. And folks, anybody want to comment about that tonight?
Well, that he's talking about Maki Ailana. Yeah. Well, Kuekaunahi is the stream that provided all the water for that area. In fact, at one time, that part of Waikiki provided sustenance to over 100,000 Hawaiians. That was a rich marshland. Ducks did not come till way later, and I won't get into that. Anyway, but it created this beautiful waterway. In the center of this waterway was a secluded little area named after Captain James Mahi. And Nina Keleiwahamana's grandfather wrote a song because their home was located near there. And in that song, there is a lot of kauna referring to the area, the wind, the waterways, and that one verse I wanted to bring up, the Elua Me Ekolu. A lot of them, you know, they say it's a menage a trois. Well, it's not. It has nothing to do with it. What it is that it talks about the couples going there to get acquainted, and the water, the sound of the water, the wind, all of that is that third partner to make that coupling complete. I shouldn't say coupling. Why not? Yeah,
It's
why
a
not?
kako.
It's a kako. So it had nothing to do with a third person coming into the picture. Okay. Am I getting too...
No, brother. Go. Let's go. We don't get to hear this.
It's my Sicilian blood. I can't help it.
Okay, so let's have now, we'll share with you Maki Ailana.
I got it.
Well, I guess we're going to now share with you another one of those beautiful Waikiki songs. A song that was written by Auntie Maddie Lamb. You want to share a little about that with us?
While driving over, I got to sing that cane, Maddie Lamb, Home Kapaka. That is where they lived, their parents. Can you do that? I'm going to deviate and do Home Kapaka.
It's lovely sitting in front of you.
Maryland.
Yeah, we're doing Waikiki, we're not doing Hau'ula. Hau'ula kind of far away, you know. So what we
I know, Uncle wanted to go up to
Wait.
Pamai, what key you gonna dance in? Let us know, yeah, so we know what key to play in. We don't want to play too high, yeah? Okay, ready? Okay. Okay.
This is a surprise.
It is a surprise for us.
We're gonna head to Sacred Falls, everybody. We're gonna go up to Sacred Falls for a little bit, okay?
We're gonna leave the tourists.
When the Amakua comes, we gotta go.
Okay, here we go.
This is a song of the home of Auntie Maddie Lamb's parents.
I know.
It was a home of much welcome, much hospitality. Everyone that went there felt welcome into that home. The ocean was so whistling in the Hau'ula area. It made me say, the fragrance of that wonderful. Oh, I see you that sacred place of sacred fall, my dear love for that sacred. Let's go back to home. The home of my parents. And they'll be filled with happiness. Indeed, a home of welcome. With all my love, is the house. Home. Welcome my Mahalo. I tell you, the Hawaiians are the worst. We never know where we're going next.
You make us sweat up here.
Hours of planning
Making us
and
sweat.
special meetings out the window.
After that little excursion out there to Hau'ula, we're going to come back to Waikiki and talk.
Waste gasoline.
And actually, we're going to end this portion, right? Guys, this brings this first portion to a close. Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
They're going to, because this is going to be the kind of a prelude to the second half of this evening's concert. And what we're going to do is do an old-time Hapahawi favorite. If you know the words, join the guys. Okay? Here goes.
What, the keiki are going to dance it, right?
And the keiki are going to come out and dance it too.
Yes.
Is that Honikaua Waikiki?
Only out on the beach.
Oh, out on the beach at Waikiki. Okay, how about a round of applause for all the little ones? Yeah. Out on the beach at Waikiki.
Move up a little bit so the people can see you. There we go.
The beach at Waikiki, there's a man I used to know. Her name was Lulu, she Miki Miki, but she knows you're out that way. She surely has a pretty giggle and lovely nut brown hair. But most of all is her hearty wiggle. Oh, how she surely can swim. Now you can see her grass skirt flow like a swing to and fro. And you can watch her the way he move. Out of the beach in Waikiki, there's a maiden I used to know. Her name is Lulu. She Miki to see her you're out that way. Out of the beach at Waikiki, there's a maiden I used to know. Her name is Lulu. She Miki to see her when you're out that way. She surely has a pretty giggle and a lovely nut brown hair. The place of all is when all that we go. Oh, she surely can swing. Oh, you can see her grass skirt blow like the leaves swaying to and fro. And you can watch her when he move on. On the beach at Waikiki, there's a big I used to know. She's Miki just when you're out that way. You see her all that way.
Mahalo keiki. Oh, what a wonderful keiki hula. Again, one wonderful applause for our islanders, led by Alan. Guest speakers tonight, Brother Joe, Sister Marlene, and our brother goes out to Haula. It's okay. Now we've got to go Kalia on the second half. So okay. Everyone, why don't we take about a 20-minute break?